Oh, going live
Hey,
here.
Bridget. All
Let's
right.
get this show on the road.
The show on the road.
Even from the moment you walk great. In, you get checked in virtually. Let's mute YouTube. Hey everyone, we are live. That was a fun start. I'm Bridget Bartlett with visionmarketinganddesign.com, and today we are live inside of our Friday Q&A session where my team actually gets to join me in the Zoom to ask me any of their burning questions, and hopefully I have the answer. So if you want to join my team, you can go to visionmarketinganddesign.com and choose a plan that works best for you. And hello, how is everyone today? Let me let everyone in here. Well, you guys are all getting let in. I'll just let you know a little bit about a presentation I did because I'm totally transparent with you guys. I think a lot of times, especially people who have never had their first client, they're like, oh my gosh, what am I going to say? And how am I going to position the, and what questions am I going to ask and all of this. And, this is a new platform for me too. And so I'm trying to be very thoughtful of how I can just like we all struggle with every affiliate platform or every product. I'm really trying to fine tune, like, how am I going to position these tools to be the solution for my client? Okay. So I have actually a few pharmacies that are my client, and I'm really, because of my background in pharmacy, I'm really trying to focus in on the pharmacy niche. And something that I'm realizing, when I was having this meeting with my client, I always say, like, don't worry about what to say. Instead, ask questions. You want your client to do all the talking, right? So I'm asking him, like, first of all, I know we have this communications tool. That's the absolute best way to describe it. Yes, it's an all-in-one digital marketing platform, but what's the best part about it? It's the communication. So when I go into this consultation, I am wanting to know, what are his communications like? What are the good things? What are the bad things? What does he think that he needs? And then from that point on, I'm thinking, okay, so what tools are you using? What is your process when a customer calls? What is your process when you follow up with them? What is your process when they need to refill or transfer a prescription? All of these things, I want to know the processes. That's the most important thing. You want to know, you want to ask the questions, where can I help is what I'm thinking. So after he tells me all of these things, now I have a better idea. So now I'm thinking, okay, well, our new solution can solve this problem. You won't even need that tool, right? So right away, now I'm saving him money. All right. So that gives me the power of the positioning, the power of the solution that I'm offering him, because now I know we have a great solution, but I need to sell him on the value, right? So now I'm saving him money on at least one of the tools that he will no longer need. Now I'm bundling things because I'm like, okay, we can integrate that. We can get that. What would you like to have? Like, if you had a perfect world, what would this look like? And so these are all the things that I'm asking him. And so now I have another meeting with partners. You guys, this thing has blown up into, like, he's opening a second location. And I told him, look, I want to do all these things for you at cost. Why would I do that? Because he is someone that I would consider like a power partner. Okay. So he has lots of business partners, and he's in a network of other business leaders. And so he is an excellent referral. So how does this benefit me? How does this benefit him? He gets all of his services at cost. He's been my client for over 3 years, so he trusts me. But also, we can work together to build our businesses utilizing each other's strengths. So that is super, super cool. So that's kind of, I just wanted to let you know, like, my experience this week, how I'm kind of positioning it. Another thing is with that HIPAA security, it just makes perfect sense. Now, look, you have another solution. What do all these medical offices need? They need HIPAA security, right? So if you purchase that through HighLevel with just one account, like, you cannot charge for the HIPAA, and you can charge him for, you cannot charge for the tools and charge for the HIPAA. So what that does is now it gives him all of these tools, this whole marketing platform that is protected by HIPAA. So that is another big selling point for these medical industries. Plus, they have the capabilities of booking vaccines. All of their communications are in the one place. That's something that he was super excited about, which I knew. I mean, any business owner, they look at that, they're like, that's incredible. But anyway, that's my my whole experience. And hopefully that kind of helps you to start thinking about how you want to position this platform, how you want to utilize this to be a solution for your clients. And it may take you a while to like really narrow down a niche. But definitely, like I know Keck, he is doing the restaurant niche, and that's so excellent. It's so great. And you guys, right now we're doing this, the economy right now in the United States is like struggling. But every time we have something like this, there's always like a huge rebound where all these businesses start getting created. So it's an exciting time to be an agency. Hey, Keck, what's up?
Hey, I was going to say that HIPAA thing, man, that is such an opportunity. It's like a niche creator.
Yeah.
It's like any healthcare professional service provider that needs HIPAA right there. There's your, I've never heard of any other platform or any offering to do that kind of HIPAA thing. I don't know if the way I understand it just keeps them HIPAA compliant, and they've got to do it. Right. They've got to be. And a lot of doctors, I would think, don't have anything because they can't find a HIPAA compliant solution.
Yes.
It's like I have my dermatologist I see once a year. Right. And I miss the appointment almost every year because they can't reach out to me to remind me of my appointment.
Mm-hmm.
Inevitably, they send me an email inviting me to sign up for a portal. Mm-hmm. I don't want to sign up for a portal. What are you emailing me for? They can't even tell me I have an appointment with them. So there's a huge need out there, in any kind of medical service provider, that I think this HighLevel feature just really is an opportunity creator here.
Yeah. And as the agency owner, it's like I was saying, you can balance out the cost, like you don't have to charge for the tools, just charge for example, $297. That's nothing to a pharmacy owner. You guys, when he first started out, he was struggling to get like 8 new patients a week. The first week, just total organic marketing, I got him like 40 new patients. So he was like, oh my gosh, this is literally how I started my whole agency career, is by this one client. So he, that's what they need, right? They're ready to invest. They don't care. He just told me that when I had a meeting with him 6 months ago, he was like, yeah, we're slated to do like $1 million this year. And I'm like, yes, that's awesome. I'm so excited. I've been with him his whole journey, and that's so cool. And then he tells me in this meeting, he's like, yeah, we're going to be doing like, by January, we're going to be doing $1 million a month.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, so he's ready to level up. And this is how this works. This is how you take these like struggling business owners and you just do what you can to help them, and they're going to be your client for life. But you're so right, Keck, when I was asking him, what are your problems? Integrations. That's a big problem when you need to be HIPAA compliant. You can't just string together a bunch of tools, even like the booking calendar. When they need, when they're booking vaccines, they need to know some medical history. They need to know your birthday, a lot of personal information, and they're trying to string together all these different tools. And that's why going in there and asking, what are the tools that you're using now? What are the problems that you have? Asking that right away lets me know now what direction I need to take. And that's Keck, you've been in sales. That's how you do it, right?
Yeah.
It's you have to position whatever. We have all these tools. There's a million ways that you could say, hey, this is the solution to your problem. But you won't know that unless you ask the questions. How can you help? What are their problems? And how can you be the solution to that?
Yeah, you get into that consultative selling kind of role, where you're asking them, tell me about your workflow or your system, your systems. And then you're just consulting them with what you know, because you're going to, I have a solution for that. I have a solution for that, or whatever. And then, you're just, the fixer.
Yeah. And, so it was so funny too, because as I'm talking to him, I'm like, oh my, even I was surprised how much he needed us,
Yeah.
because he was like, we were talking about, HIPAA compliance. One of the things is when you own a pharmacy or doctor's office, you have to, part of that is like, you have to make sure that your staff is certified with the latest HIPAA rules and all of that, like once a year. And you need to keep documentation of that. That's really important. So when I was like, hey, you could easily do that. If you have these, he was like showing me like laminated things that he had made, like diagrams and stuff.
3-ring binder.
Yeah. And like color coded things. And I know it's like, he just realized, like every business owner, he realized he had a problem. He needed to find a solution, but that was the solution that he knew of. So now when I come in and I'm like, dude, let's create a whole e-learning about this, and he's like, oh, that would be so awesome. And I'm like, you could have one of your staff just add this stuff to it. We have tutorials, or just pay me to do it. Like, this is what we do. So he's one of those people. He is a total do it for me. He honestly, he doesn't even like want to have to think about it. He's like, I just want to send me the invoice, I'll pay it. If I never have to worry about my marketing again, I'll be the happiest person. So again, you just always, so when you tell that type of client, when you say, look, I have a whole team. We can solve any problem that you have. Just talk to me and we'll find the solution. It's like, that's what they want to hear. You don't have to be a techie. I don't know how to set up this whole HighLevel system to the best of his purposes, but I know who to call to do it, and I'll just pay them to do it.
Exactly. And I just want to point out something that's probably obvious, but the trust is such a big factor too. He's been with you for 3 years, right? And that makes it, his resistance is so low when you give him a solution. Like you say, you have that track record with him. So just don't discount that, folks. Trust. I mean, just being with somebody a long time and just taking care of them.
Yeah.
And then when their business explodes, guess what? Your business is going to ride that wave because they trust you, and they're going to need to level up like this guy now.
Yeah, I mean, and it's the same with like agencies and affiliate marketing and all of that. Until you have an audience, or you have clients that know, like, and trust you, you just need to focus on giving the value and how you can serve others with what like I say, you want to get started in affiliate marketing, create tutorial videos. It's like how to copy and paste using Control-C. All of those things. It's like you're drawing in your target audience, whatever they would perceive as value. That's how you build that know, like, and trust. It still amazes me when people are like, Bridget, I feel like I know you. I've seen all your YouTube videos. And it's like, that's how it works. People feel like, like Keck, you and I, the same thing, like being a part of the team and all that stuff. It's like, people just, they feel like they know us, which is still a very surreal thing. But that's what happens. You give people the value that they're looking for, and then they'll keep coming back to you over and over and over again. And that's how you build that trust.
Yep.
So I see a lot of silent peoples. I see Linus in the YouTube, and let's see, he says, if we can search businesses that don't have HIPAA compliance, that will be a game changer. Bridget, can you share a snapshot of pharmacy or any other health niche you have? There are already not full-blown snapshots, but there are already the templates and funnels and all of that, all that I have that you guys can do. I can't do a snapshot of a client's account. That I think that would be unethical. But here's one thing about choosing a niche, though, is if I choose a pharmacy niche, I want to create a snapshot. Right. So I want to create a website template. I want to create the workflow. And again, this is part of choosing a niche, because when I find out all the tools that my pharmacy client is using, then I know this is probably what all the pharmacy clients are using, or a majority. And now I have a better idea how to set all this up. I can just make like a pharmacy like demo account. And then now that helps me. So you're streamlining everything. You're streamlining your team. You're creating SOPs. You're doing all of these things, and then you get better and better and better and faster and faster and faster by being able to create this duplicatable system. And that's why, again, why I'm all about preaching the niche. And I don't know if you can find like a specific list of clients that don't have HIPAA compliance, because if they're in the medical field, they have to have it, just period. But what they're doing now is they're piecing together. It's like they might use, another platform for a website builder, but that form on that website builder, it better not have information that would be deemed, HIPAA and like privacy information. So that, again, that's where the struggle comes in. Keck, do you have something to say?
Yeah, I was just gonna say, you could look maybe like Google My Business Pages, if you have a tool like Leads Girl or whatever, but look for ones that don't have, like when you go to their website, first off, if they don't have a website, they're probably a candidate. If you go to their website and they don't have any kind of contact me or way to reach out. So, you could back in a roundabout way, find your market, in that niche. But I was just going to say also about the systems thing you're saying about the template for the niche and everything. What happens is you actually become the real expert, because on the second client, you're using the information from how the first client does his workflow. The second client, it may be generally the same, but there may be a few little differences. And after 3, 4, 5, you will be the one that knows what's the best system, because you have the 60,000 foot view, and you put together, the deluxe package of how it should be. And it's just, there's so many benefits to really niching down like that.
Yeah, and here's the beautiful thing. If there's a software that integrates with HighLevel that I see a lot of pharmacies using, then naturally I want to become a reseller or an affiliate of that software, right? I want to create like a whole game plan of because a lot of times when you work with clients, especially when you really get up into the like high level clients, the ones who are willing to invest thousands of dollars into marketing a month, they want to do things in phases, especially when you're onboarding. So it's like phase 1, let's handle the communication problems. Phase 2, let's totally revamp all the social media. Let's do, reputation management. Let's get all of that up. And then maybe phase 3 is like to start running ads and, all of these things. And, something again about choosing a niche is a lot of pharmacies, especially, they can't use Stripe. They're really tied to a very strict list of payment gateways that are approved or that are willing to do, payment processing for pharmacies. So there's a lot, and even Google, to be able to run a Google ad on a pharmacy website, they need to have legit scripts. They need to have a listing there. It's about $800. It's an application process that they have to do. They have to put it on their website. And these are all things you don't know until you get a pharmacy client. And then you're trying to serve them and you're like, oh, I just did the Google ads and now they're rejecting it. Oh, did you know you have legit scripts? So it's like all these things. But when you come in, like Keck's saying, my fifth pharmacy client, after I've set all this up and I have like a real, like, here's how you onboard a pharmacy, then it's no, I mean, how long would that take me? It's no time. I can create a system to train someone else to do it. And now I could just branch off into a completely other niche because I've already fine-tuned and designated someone to handle the onboarding of pharmacies. So this is how you scale, you guys. This is a really high level, excellent, excellent system when you're trying to scale your agency. It really doesn't get better than that. Hello, Edison. How are you?
Hi, Bridget.
Hi.
I'm fine. What about you?
You know what? I couldn't be better, to be honest.
Yeah, I can tell. Hi to everyone else as well.
Hello.
I've been trying to get onto this meeting for the longest while. I said today I must be on this call. And so I got home and I boot up my computer and it found no other time to run updates, but at 2 p.m. when I was trying to get on board, I said, no, this can't be happening. But anyway, I'm glad to be here today and to be part of this because most of the time I'm only catching it after it's gone because of work commitment and so on. So I'm happy to be here today. And I do have some questions when you are inviting questions.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay, good. So I'm not sure whether you covered this before, and this is in relation to HighLevel platform. And let me say from the get-go, I think it's a wonderful platform. I have been looking at some of the other videos, not the training ones, but I've been listening to what some of the leaders on Go HighLevel have been saying. Last night I was looking at one where they were interviewing a guy who has he has something like Fiverr. It's called, is it Legit? I think it is. He has that kind of thing where you can actually, yeah, it's Legit. Actually, I think that's in it. Where you can hire people to do lots of different things. So this guy created this community, and they were talking about, you know, having a sense of community. And I found that was very, very insightful. Okay, so with respect to my question, what I want to ask is, first question, does HighLevel, the websites that you will build on HighLevel, is it hosted on that platform, or do you need to take it elsewhere? And if yes, how many sites can we have hosted on the platform?
You can actually host unlimited websites. So even if you just have a sub account within my agency, like a Team Vision account, you can host unlimited. That you can build them there, you can host them there. They never have to leave.
Okay, so it's not limited to like build a role where it was only 15, but we can have unlimited subdomains and so on. Okay,
yeah,
great.
so your sub, just to clarify, your subdomains and your domains and all of that, those will be housed or hosted by your registrar. So your any domains that you purchase or subdomains you create or emails that you, like email addresses you create, those would all be hosted by your registrar, like GoDaddy or Bluehost or Namecheap or whoever that you create those. But then you can use the SMTP settings, even as a sub account, to be able to manage your own emails. So technically, you know, like for email credits, I actually turned off the email credits. So you guys can connect your own SMTP settings. You can connect your own emails, and they don't take credits now. So that's another thing. So if you're using like Bluehost to host your emails, then you just connect it, and then you can just manage your own emails. It gets sent from your business and all of that. So I just wanted to make that clear, because we did talk about that one day, like the hosting and what does that mean? Because when you typically talk about hosting, you're talking about like housing or hosting the website instead of like the registrar, which hosts domains and subdomains and that type of thing.
Okay, so if I understand you correctly, what you're saying is that the domains, you're simply pointing your domain to Go HighLevel.
Correct.
Okay, but your website is actually being hosted on Go HighLevel's platform, correct?
Yes.
Good, that's understood, because that's what we do with Builderall anyway. I purchase from Namecheap. They're typically who I buy domains from, and just simply point them to the Builderall. So that's basically the same.
Yeah, it's actually, instead of changing the name servers, though, the only difference is you're adding an A record and a C name record. So when you point the domain to like Builderall, for example, what that does is it says, hey, everything that I do with this domain, I want it to be configured with Builderall. But with HighLevel, what you do is you add an A record for your main domain, and then you add subdomains inside of like Bluehost or whatever. And then so what that does is it says, hey, this particular thing we want to be like housed, or we want to integrate with HighLevel. So you're not saying, hey, everything with this domain I want to be integrated. You're just saying, with this specific domain, with this specific email, I want it to be integrated with HighLevel.
Okay, so I'm not too familiar with C and what C is it, CNA records? So that's something I'll have to learn about.
You're
I,
okay. And I
I'm
actually been telling people, just if you're unfamiliar, just copy and paste the records and then contact your support of your registrar. You do
okay. All
not,
right.
I try to drive that home so much, Edison, because being an
Mm,
agency owner is not about being a techie person. It's not about being an expert in all things. It's just a
yeah.
matter of helping your clients and then knowing who to reach out to when it's above your, your expertise.
Great. So that's good to
Can I
know.
throw
And
can I throw in? I might be able to help understand the one
uh,
thing that helps me with the register and the host is whoever's your registrar, right? That's where your domain name is housed. Okay. But
right.
the host would be whoever's name servers is actually hosting that thing. So like with Builderall, it really comes down to where are the DNS records managed? That's your registrar. Right. So like Namecheap, that's where my DNS records are there, that my registrar. So that's where you go to change those different records and point to whatever name servers like go HighLevel. So anyway, if you can think about registrar and host as kind of two different things, but it's confusing because the terminology is interchangeable, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's
Why are
how I
you
kind of,
used?
yeah, that's how I
I
kind of
get it.
understand it.
I get it because I have pointed records from my domain providers to build a role. So I have a little working knowledge of it. All right. So my next question has to do with some of the automation inside of Go High Level.
Mhm.
And I've been toying with something for quite a while. And although I have made several attempts and done several things, it doesn't quite fit what I have in mind as yet. So now that Go High Level is on the scene, and thank God, Bridget, that you have so graciously afforded us this free account so that at least we can try out. And you don't know what, that's awesome. I cannot commend you enough for doing that because
Oh,
it really gives us a great opportunity to figure things out without having to pay, this ongoing fees and maybe find out, you can't do it. So for me, that's a good thing. So here's what I um of course while I'm not active I in the network marketing space like I used to, there is an area of deficiency that I've recognized, and that has to do with duplication. Okay, having a system that makes it so easy for everyone just to follow and do without calling up people and doing all those kind of stuff. And one of the things that I was looking at, and this is my question, whether videos can be stored on Go High Level, and if so, is the analytics. In fact, I asked the question, and I had a follow-up tape when you on one of your last sessions. You sort of addressed it, but the analytics, and I'm talking about the analytics, like you can see, I know for a fact that you can tell if they watched, but is there some widget that one can see 50%, 75%, that kind of thing? So that's the first part of that question. So let me let you get that, and then I'll talk a little bit more about it, the rest.
sure if there's a widget per se, but if you needed something like that, like you can store your videos in your media manager, and you can utilize that option. But
Okay.
as far as like analytics, I'm not positive about the answer to that, except if you did want something like that, I would highly recommend like Vimeo or a professional video hosting service. That way you can take advantage of all of those types of analytics.
Okay. So what you're saying is with respect to if let's say I have a funnel and I post a video on it, I want to see if the prospects who viewed the video, who didn't. You're saying that I may not be able to get that. That is what I'm speaking about when I'm speaking about analytics. I may
So
not be able to get that on Go High
in
Level.
the top, so I don't know if you know this, Edison, but in the top right hand corner of your dashboard, you'll see a little black circle with a question mark.
Yeah.
That is actually support that I have
Right.
invested in for you guys.
Okay.
So definitely reach out to them. The reason I invested into that is because I am definitely not an expert at high level
Okay.
yet. but
you.
I don't want you to not have answers to your questions. So go there and ask them. They know they are high level experts. The CEO of High Level actually recommended this team to me. So they're very, very good. So definitely reach out to them and ask them that question. So yeah, you may be able to track that in the CRM, but I'm not really positive
Okay.
about that. I
know
know
where
that
I
like
know.
in the CRM, it tells you like this person visited this
Yeah.
page, they filled out this form. So that could
Right.
be integrated, but ask them to be sure.
Okay, I'm going to do that because I know where to find that information that you're talking about. I saw on your last training, you did that. So in that case, I will put all my questions to them. So I'll get a sense of what the platform is capable of doing.
Okay.
And then I'll be able to, take it from there in going forward.
Cool. Yeah,
Yep.
definitely utilize them. I do. I use them for my own questions too.
Yeah, we don't want your money to waste. So I think
Yeah.
better
Yeah.
start asking them a lot more questions. I will do that, certainly.
Definitely. Yeah, and they're really good. I mean, I've never went like more than 4 hours without a response.
Okay, very good. Nice.
Yeah.
All right, so that's my questions for now. I think that answers
Cool.
some of the questions I have.
Awesome. Okay. Did you have a question?
Yeah, just to spin off the last question. So does Go High Level have a video hosting dealio like Builder all
Not
did? Or?
specifically, but you can upload your videos to like your media manager, like the same place that the photos, like you upload
Right.
photos to. But I have not done that yet. So
Okay.
that's why I can't really speak. I know that Linwood, after our last Friday Q&A, Linwood said that, that's possible to do. And then someone else, actually, I got like 2 more messages from people like, hey, we can actually do that. So I am hearing that it is definitely possible to upload your videos to that manager. I just haven't done it. And so I don't know the specifics and I don't want to tell you the wrong answer.
Right on. Okay.
Yeah.
That'll be awesome if we can do that.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, especially for like having coaching courses and stuff like that. And especially, this was also, I know you may not be able to answer it, but the other part of my question had to do with the fact of sometimes, let's say you have some kind of training course or something, and you do not want the participants to run ahead and jump ahead before the next video is due until they have completed the first one. So you want to restrict, you cannot go forward unless you have completed this first video. That's something that I will definitely hope can be accomplished in Go High Level. I think if I recall that Builderall has that to some extent where you can limit someone, or in fact, you can time the video to drop at a certain time, but it's not about dropping at a certain time. You want them to complete the first one before they go on to the second one.
Yeah. With that, I'm not positive.
I know.
Yeah.
I think that is possible. I've heard people talking about that. Again, I would reach out to support as to how to do it, but I think that is possible.
Okay, great.
Miss Maria, how can I help you, ma'am? And then I'll get you, Linwood. I see your little hand up there.
I have just a brief question. It doesn't have to do with high level. As you know, I'm still a beginner and learning stuff. And I have a question for you and one for Kirk. Get ready, Kirk, is for you. My question has to do with PLRs. And I noticed on one of the PLRs you gave us and a bunch of them, it says, no, cannot be given away free. Does that mean if I ask for an email, is that an email? Does that mean it's free still? So if I do it like an email?
It really depends on the licensing terms, but most of the time, any of the ones that say can't be given away for free, if you look at the other criteria, it will say, but you can use it to build a list. So it's like, you can't just give it away, I guess, but if you want to use it to build a list, then you can give it away.
Okay, I just thought of that. I said, I wonder if that works. And then Kurt, you had a training on PLRs and you were going through all this stuff, but I can't seem to find it. Is it off of They took it off of Builderall, or
I doubt they took it off. Was it a Tuesday night training?
no, it was a series on PLRs or something. You were putting together a PLR and you were showing
Yeah,
what
like
to
taking it
add.
apart. And yeah,
Yes, it was
I think
very
that was
detailed.
I think it was a couple of Tuesday nights back to back. I'll see if I can find it on my YouTube channel.
Oh, okay.
Um,
I didn't know. I can look there because
or
it was
it's probably on their YouTube channel. I don't think that's streamed to mine. I'll have to look. I'm not sure if I have that one or not.
because it was something, it was a series, and I think you did a part, someone else did a part, and someone else
Mm,
did a part. And you were showing us with one product and showing us how to change it around. And I was looking for that because it seemed like
mm.
it was really detailed.
Was that a
But I look,
challenge?
it could
I
have
was
been.
wondering, was that the
It was long.
Thanksgiving Day challenge maybe? Or a
It
year
was
ago?
long. I know it's old now, but I think it's
Yeah,
still be applicable. Would that be on their YouTube channel?
You
I
can
think
go,
so.
if it was a challenge, you can go to challenges.builderall.com and then you can watch those there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Or the Builder All USA. Most
Okay.
of their stuff ends up on
Yeah.
there too.
Builderall USA. All
Yeah.
right, I'll check both. Thank you.
You are
Sure.
so welcome.
Okay. I just want to just a bit of a follow-up to what Maria's question with respect to PLRs. I did have that question as well, so I'm happy that you addressed it. So it means that you can give it away, sort of, on a, let's say, a lead magnet or something like that, right?
Yeah.
But the other question had to do with sometimes they say it cannot be used on membership sites. Let's say you're using it on a membership site for maybe training purposes. Let's say it's a video. So is there any way around that? Or it means then that if you're going to be using it on a membership site, then you have to pay for it.
If they it really just depends again on the terms. You just have to look through there and see what the exact terms are, because it can vary. Even the same product, depending on where you buy it, could have different licensing terms. So that's just something that you need to consider. But usually when it says like can't be used in a membership site, a lot of times it's because those are for personal use only. So they don't let you like really distribute it, like they'll let you sell it, but they're trying to use it in their own membership sites usually. So they don't want you to be able to use it in your membership site because, that would be like competition for them. So again,
Okay.
you just have to make sure that, when you're going through that, you're reading through those specific terms so that you make sure, like there's a Google Ads course that I was looking at, and like IDPLR didn't have the rights where I could add it to my membership site. So I had to do a Google search, and then I found the original creators of the course, and then I actually was able to purchase the master resale rights for that course, but it was a separate thing. So yeah, just definitely depending on where you find it and all of that, just make sure that you're being compliant with those terms.
You can always reach out. There's usually an email.
Yeah.
You can always reach out to them and just say, hey, this is how I intend on using this. I just want to make sure it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah, like IDPLR at the bottom, it usually says, do you want to request an additional license? So you could say, hey, I wanted to be able to have master resale rights. How do I go about doing that? Or I wanted to add this to my membership site. How do I go about doing, getting
Okay.
that permission?
I see. That is great because I do have, I purchased an IDPLR subscription a couple of years ago. I have it there. I haven't really used it much. And I did have a couple of questions, was wondering, what's the next step? But now that you said, yeah, you shared this to me, it clears up a lot. So I'll certainly be looking at it a little bit more.
Inside of your Team Vision account, there's a Team Vision tab in the menu. And you'll see on there, it has all of the resources, like where the Zoom link is. And there's also a link to the PLR, all the ones we had in our previous membership. It's just like a MediaFire file. So you can go through, there's tons of PLR in there.
85,000. Yeah, I
Yeah.
went through it. I used a couple of it. Yes, I in fact, I downloaded some of it, have it stored on Google Drive. So I know what you're talking about.
Any of the PLR that I got that I've provided for you, I have master resale rights. So if
Okay.
I'm giving it to you inside of my membership area, you guys can do whatever you want with it.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
That's good to know. That's really good to know.
There's really good, not just IDPLR stuff. There's really good courses in there that I've paid a significant amount of money for. So
Okay.
yeah.
I can't recall whether I saw any that was video training, but I know I looked at a couple of them.
Yeah, like there's a Microsoft ads course, the Google ads course, Facebook ads, free and paid ads, beginner and advanced, and it's a really, really good course too. So it really breaks down all of the steps of how to get started with Facebook ads. So
nice. That's really good. Thank you.
You're welcome. Anybody else have questions? No? Let me check the YouTube chat here.
Was
Linwood
Linwood
has
tell us?
his hand up.
Oh, Linwood. How can I help you, Linwood? I did see, I looked a minute ago and I saw your hand was down.
Oh, no, since you'd recognized it, I said, I'll just go ahead and put it down for now. But I just wanted to say, hello, Bridget, Maria, Kat, thanks for your help the other evening. It was really appreciated. And I wanted to touch bases on what you were saying about videos and being hosted. And as long as someone has a web hosting space, they can upload any videos that they want into that space and then just link to them to be able to display them on the web page.
But do you know, Linwood, what about the analytics? Because that's what Edison was concerned about. He wanted to be able to track that. Do you know if it's possible?
Sorry about that. I hit my mute button. Yeah, it should be possible because I'm not sure about most of the web hosts that provide web hosting space. They have analytics. And you can definitely use something like AW stats or some other analytic tracking that would allow you to do it.
Good. That's good to know.
So Linwood, did you say you can upload videos just like the pictures? Is that basically what you're confirming?
That is correct.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, very cool. I'll check that out. Is there, when you select the element, do you select the element? Can you select the element from there? Video, or do you have to select image and then select a video?
When you create a link, obviously the video is going to have a name like cat.mp4 or whatever, and whatever that video is that you link to is the one that's going to be displayed.
Okay. All right. I'll check it out.
Yeah. So you, I'm in this this account here. I'll just show you what I'm doing here so you can see, but I'm just basically trialing this just for all of us to see what this is all about. So I'm just going to add a section here. Oops. Okay. And then we'll add a row and let's add a video. So this is, I guess, what you're asking, Keck. Do we choose video? So if you choose video and you click on the settings, it says, so I wonder if custom embed, or would we use HTML if we are trying to, so let's see, embed, and then let's see. Okay, so it is asking for the link. So now let's see if we added an image, go to the elements, and let's say we go to edit the image. But let's go ahead and upload a video. Let me see here. I think I have a demo video I can use. Okay, so we'll just say this video here. Okay, so it says file type not allowed.
Now, it says My Media up top there, that little button. I wonder if you could scroll there, if it gives you any media type options.
Oh, no, it just sorts
okay.
them. Background, Pixabay. Maybe, let me see what type, what type of video that was. because maybe it has to be like an MP4 or something. Okay, so that was actually an MP3. So this is an MP4. So let's try that. Okay, and then this says it exceeded the recommended limit. Okay, so maybe then what you could do is if you have like Bluehost or something like that. Let me actually move this. That's not what I want to do. If you have like Bluehost or some type of web hosting like that, maybe you could use that. Honestly, I like YouTube, but I mean, really, there's tons of options. You could use any of those video managers or your web hosting, or the beautiful thing about this is there are so many options. So like for me, YouTube's great because my whole purpose is driving traffic to my YouTube channel. I get paid by YouTube to run ads on my channel, so I benefit in many ways. But again, Edison wants a secure, like courses and all of that stuff. So you just have a different use, but yeah, there's lots of opportunities there for you.
Yeah, I have a question for you about, speaking of YouTube, you use YouTube to host your videos. Is there any way to limit or control what videos are suggested down there after it's done? Because I know you can do an end card and stuff, but where it pops up with like, 4 or 5 suggested videos.
Not really, because
Okay.
and if you try, it used to be there was like a hack that you could do to like prevent that from happening, but
yeah,
YouTube
that's why I
will
asked you. I figured you'd know if there was.
YouTube will actually like disable your account if they find out you're doing that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, they do not want you to.
That was my question, Kirk, because I was struggling with that this morning, and I went to Vimeo, and on Vimeo you can end the end cap. You can stop that, but if you join, I think you have to be pro at $50 a month or something, and you can do that because I've been advised on my site to use videos that do not link out to anywhere else, and that looks professional. And I'm thinking, well, I don't want to spend that right now. And that was my question after I heard all this, to ask you, what can you do? Because I don't want those videos to show, but since I have a new business channel, on my YouTube, I decided just to keep adding stuff that I want people to see. So that's a good way to drive traffic. I didn't think of that, what you just mentioned, Bridget.
As we're talking about this, I'm like, why did I not just like realize this is so silly? But you can actually just upload the actual file inside of the e-learning. Let me show you this. I don't know why we're sitting here talking about all of this, and I just literally realized this.
And
you just figured it out.
Then wait a minute, you uploaded to e-learning, and then you could.
Yeah, let me show you here. So
right.
Let's go to memberships. I'm going to go to products. So it's like, I'm going to create my own e-learning here real fast. So we'll do create a product. Let's just, I'll build my own. So we're going to call this test and create. And so here's my category. Let's say I want to create a post. So I'm going to click here. Here is where you just upload your video. So if you do upload new file, let's go ahead and let me search my demo file again. So here's let me make sure it's an actual MP4. So it's an MP4 file. And then you just upload it here, and then it's secure, and you have it inside your e-learning, and it's not hosted by anything else. And it looks good. If you click preview, you see here's the actual video. So you don't actually have to worry about the video.
So does that give you an embed code that you can use that on a website then?
That's what I was going to ask.
Because that would be awesome.
Right.
That'd
That would be fantastic. I had that credit card in my hand, and I didn't use it. So I am so glad I'm seeing this. Embed.
You can get an embed code here. So because it's secure. So you shouldn't, if it's secure, you shouldn't be able to get an embed code because the purpose is that it's housed here.
So how do you get it on your website if you want to move this video and put it on a website?
This would be your website. So this is the actual e-learning. So you can, if you wanted to have like, I would recommend creating like a landing page and then having a place where they can log in to go to the course. But yeah, this would be like the course that you're presenting with the videos in it.
But what I
But
want to
even
do
if
is,
you want, I'm sorry.
what I want to do is take a video and put it on my site that already exists.
Yeah, if you wanted to actually put it on your site where it's not locked behind a membership, like the membership area or the e-learning or something like that, you would have to use some type of hosting for the video.
I'm trying to figure this out too, so I'll let you know if I figure it out. Because with the builder all hosting is a perfect solution for the video, but I couldn't get it to render right on my Go HighLevel site. So they have the custom embed option or the HTML5. I tried it both ways, and both ways, just the ratio of the box was too skinny. But I feel like what we want to do is possible. We just haven't figured it out. Maybe check out with support.
There are things like if you wanted to use the builder all video hosting, you could do that. But again, with all honesty, it's like it's hit or miss. Again, like with that too, I've had like, where I host my videos and it's just like, it doesn't play or something is, it's like broken or something happens. And so, it's one of those things. But if it's a great solution, if you just need something and you're working on a smaller budget and it works for you, definitely. I mean, that's, again, it's like I always say, use what is best for your business because only you know that. So if you already have videos, if you're keeping your Builderall account, you may as well use it if it works good for you, if you can get it to work. If not, you may want to do like, maybe like some kind of like web hosting or video hosting. I know Bluehost has the option to that you have all of the storage in with your account. So if you have a Bluehost account and you buy your domains and all of that, you do have the ability to upload and store actually a lot of storage inside of that.
So you could host video potentially at your domain registrar.
Yeah.
I did not know that.
Yeah, and then that's what Linwood was talking about. If you have like some type of web hosting, and Bluehost does, it's part of their plan. They give you like a certain number of or a certain amount of like hosting. So yeah, you could do that and then just play the video.
Cool.
Okay. Sorry, somebody.
Let me get Valerie real fast because
Okay.
I saw her hand up and then I'll come right back to you.
Hi, Bridget. How are you?
Hello, I'm good. How are you?
Yes, thank you, and I hope everybody else is well. I have a quick Canva question since you're the Canva queen. I started working on my demo video for my product yesterday, got it done. But what I forgot to do was put a picture up front of the product in front of the video. And I don't see a way to have a little plus sign in front to hit to add a photo. Do you know how to do that? Or is there a way?
Do you mean like a thumbnail to the video?
Yeah, something like that would be fine. Yeah.
So where are you planning to upload the video to?
Probably V8.
What is it?
Probably Builderall.
Okay. So within that, if you upload it to the video hosting, there's actually an option for you to set the thumbnail. And that's actually better because you want to be able to control what's on that first, what people are seeing when they first land on your page. But then it's like, it looks redundant if you set that thumbnail as like the first scene of your video, because then they're looking at the thumbnail and then they click play and then it looks like the thumbnail again. So it kind of looks, so I would actually recommend that you don't put that there and then you just create an image to use as your thumbnail. And then when they click play, it just goes right to the video.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. All right.
Or you could always just create an image and then on the next slide, just put your whole video, like just create a totally different project and then add, create your
That's what I was thinking I was going to have, but I like your idea better. Yeah, to go ahead and put an image on the page and then when you click on it, the video runs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, thank you very much.
You're so welcome. Anyway, Edison, I didn't forget you.
Okay. Yeah, I know. All right. I recall, Bridget, you mentioned that was more or less at the beginning of your introduction of Go HighLevel. you mentioned e-commerce, that it's due to be coming maybe in the next quarter or next year sometime. I wanted to know if that was still on track, because I started to build an e-commerce site using Builderall's server. And I know nothing about WordPress, and I have been spending hours upon hours trying to figure out stuff. I reached out to support, but I really did not didn't get much help in that regard. I suspect that while Builderall can provide the servers, there isn't necessarily the WordPress support. One of the difficulties I was having is getting the it's a dropship store, and I was actually pulling the information from a CVS file, and it took me quite a while. In fact, I burned through 3 plugins to try to get that information in there, and there was constant issues of errors and files dropping and so on. It may not be a Builderall issue. In fact, I deleted the store on 3 occasions and cleared the server as much as I could have done from my side. But I don't know if it has anything to do with the fact that my PC is now Windows 11. I don't know if that has anything to do with it. But I find that the process, it took days to upload stuff to that server. And so I was just wondering, I would be quite interested to see what Go HighLevel will be offering by way of having your e-commerce store, and whether or not, there would be a separate server, whatever may be, and going forward.
So the way that HighLevel works, which is actually a breath of fresh air, is they don't try to reinvent the wheel, right?
Okay.
So creating a really good e-commerce system is very time consuming. It's very, very expensive. And the way that HighLevel works is like, why would we put out a product that is not sufficient, that is not high performance, because that's their reputation? Why would we put out this product if it's not ready to go right away? Like they expect, like HighLevel is not the agency owners within HighLevel. They are high-level agency owners. These are multi-million-dollar agencies. They demand great quality tools. So having said that, what HighLevel is doing is they're not actually creating their own e-commerce platform. They're creating an integration with Shopify. So Shopify, it's like the #1 leader in e-commerce. So we will be able to, as agency owners, we will be able to be resellers of Shopify, just like we will be for WordPress. So when HighLevel releases things, they work. They go through a beta process to make sure that before things are released, that it works good. And so I am really excited about the Shopify thing. That's e-commerce is definitely something that you need to have in an agency. You need to have a solution for that. But right now, if you're just like really desperate to get started, there's UCID, which is EWCID, and it's actually an e-commerce store that you can embed like an iframe into your website. So it makes any website like a full-blown e-commerce solution. So if you're just ready to get going, you could look at that. And then also, like I was saying, at the end of the year, WordPress is coming, and they have a blogging, I don't really know what it would be, like an app or some type of blogging system that you'll be able to use. So those things are definitely coming. So I'm really excited. But right now, there's even a blog like plugin that you can use. Even the things, this is what's great about HighLevel, is even the things, and Keck and I were talking about this, that like you think on the surface HighLevel can't do, there's always like, they have the capabilities on the back end to basically make anything happen. So even like when it comes to like certain like really high, high techie type things like CSS and different coding and all of that stuff, we have the capability of doing all of that. So that's why when people level do this and this, I'm like, oh, I'm so hesitant to say no, because it could just be something that I'm unaware of yet, or that there's some type of integration that you can use. So that's the cool thing, is that really you can do anything. You just have to figure out, is it a plugin I need? Is it like, the embed store or something like that? So anybody else have questions?
Yeah, I just want to throw in about where you're talking about Shopify.
Yeah.
Is when you're in the position, like as an agency owner, or you're going to be in the position of saying, hey, I will build you a e-commerce store. I mean, everybody knows Shopify. They're the biggest one. And instead of having to say, oh, we've got one that's better than Shopify, which is not. Nobody's going to be better than Shopify anytime soon.
Yeah.
So to be able to say, absolutely, I specialize in that.
Yeah.
I mean, that's where it's at. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
people recognize that brand. And again, one of the things that are so important is the integration part of everything. It's like you might be using like this e-commerce solution, but when it's like if you're using like these entry level tools, okay, it's like, it's great to learn on. But when you actually start getting clients, and you actually, even if you're not planning on starting an agency, but you're like, oh, I just created this course, I'm really excited to launch. And then you put like, you're doing all this Google ads and testing and all of that. It's like, you likely are going to have loading problems. You're going to have converting problems. It's going to take you thousands of dollars before you can pinpoint what the actual problem is. Maybe the checkout's not working. Maybe it's this, it's like you have all these things. And this is why HighLevel is so exciting, because if you can learn the tools, you literally have everything that you need. There are multi-million-dollar campaigns being built on this platform because it's quality. It's high-level quality. So definitely, while it seems kind of techie and all of that stuff, really, this is everything that you need. And when you tell, someone who's like, wanting to be the next Amazon, when you tell them, hey, we have Shopify, like that's what they want to hear. They don't want to hear, oh, because they likely, when they first started their journey, they started with the cheaper tools, and then they realized, oh, okay, it took me, $10,000 to realize that you can't use cheap tools if you want to make money online. You need to use effective tools. So, so when you say Shopify, they're like, okay, I know Shopify, I'm good, let's go. Instead of being like, I don't know, let me research this company, how does it perform here? Can you integrate this?
Exactly.
Can you do, Yeah, so that's really that brand recognition it's like WordPress. When you say, yeah, I can build you a website on WordPress, they're like, oh, okay. Because they trust that.
Yeah, you can sell Big Macs all day long, but a Keck burger, nobody knows what a Keck burger is. But Big Macs all day long. Yep.
So okay, guys. So you all said something there that have me wondering now. So you're seeing, because I don't know much about this. You're saying that Shopify is even better than WooCommerce. Am I correct?
Better. I mean, it's hard to compare because they have different purposes. If you're looking for something that's really powerful, like an e-commerce solution, and you already have a WordPress site, and you're already familiar with WordPress and how it all works together, I would say definitely go with WooCommerce. But if you're like not that techy, and you're like, hey, I really don't need a website, I just want to use my Shopify store as my website, I just need things simple, I need lots of integrations without having to use Zapier and webhooks, and then definitely Shopify is the best solution.
Okay, because what I'm pursuing is it's a drop shipping arrangement. I'm not doing the fulfillment. I'm just connecting to their database, put it into my store. People make their purchase, and then from there, on the back end, the order goes to the supplier, and they do the fulfillment. So when I started it, so I was quite impressed when I heard Builderall had no WooCommerce and they're giving you your own service. I decided to pursue it. But when I started to get into it, then I started to realize that, okay, you need this and you need that and you need the other. And that had me thinking. And then it's like having to learn WooCommerce now, having to spend a lot of time looking at YouTube videos and so on. And again, there's thousands of them out there. So because everybody is an expert in their own right. So you now have to figure out who can I best connect with in order to get, where I want to get to. I even was thinking of putting a post in Builderall community to see if there's any expertise in that area, somebody who can really help me. But I didn't do it because when I had the issues uploading the information, I said, let me wait and see if support will get back to me. They did respond. They asked me to send them a video. I did send the video, but then I didn't hear anything else after that. So I think I may need some kind of help going forward in that respect. So
where I would start, Edison, if you want to do the drop shipping thing, I would I would do a little research and look at the drop shipper that you want to use, and then start Googling does Shopify integrate with that drop shipper, like AliExpress or something? And then once you just start going down that rabbit hole of what is the best solution, and I'm telling you, choose the reputable companies, because they're going to be the most simple. They're going to have the best support. They're going to have all the integrations. They're going to have, you might have to pay more money, but when you think about the time, Edison, that you spent trying to figure out, is the problem is it the tool? Is it your computer? Is it all of that time? You could have already built your whole e-commerce solution, right? Yeah. So that's something that you have to, it's the balance of everything. You have to figure that out. It might serve your purpose better to pay $100 a month, get your whole thing, get it integrated, get it set up, get it beautiful how you want it. There's tons of videos. There's, so much that you can do without spending 3 days trying to figure out how to even troubleshoot.
Well, it's sort of like I'm feeling now like the horse has bolted the barn and I'm about to close the gate because I've already started. I have invested in one of Builderall server, to have the store on. I have bought plugins because I think, okay, all right, so I need this, I need this, I need that. I'm making it up as I go along. Of course, it's going to be costing me because I did not have all this information available to me. I took it for granted that since we now have, WooCommerce on Builderall, that should make things easy. I followed some of Jackie's training, which was basic. She did not go into the WordPress aspect of it. She made that clear. But no, having been on this call and listening to what you guys are saying, it's given me a totally different perspective because the dropshipper is, I've researched this dropshipper. I've made contact. I've gone through the process to get a business registered, sign up with them. I'm now one of their wholesalers. I have access to their back end. They have made it clear in terms of what they can provide. They are not too much into the tech aspect. They've actually even put me on to there is a sort of integrator. Now I know, like I said, these things you find out as you go along. Sometimes you pay for what you don't know. And so there's Sprocket and there's another one where now, instead of me collecting the orders, because I did not know as well, when customers place their orders, it does not push directly to the fulfillment or the supplier. What happens is that now I have to take that information and go type it in like I am placing an order with them, but in the wholesale section. Then I asked the question, I said, so what if I have 1,000 orders? Now, what am I going to do? And they put me onto these integrators. Now, it's not expensive to have the integrators because the integrators now, they have the ability, they're connected directly to the supplier side. And of course, in this business, it's about speed and efficiency. and on-time delivery. So I feel sort of like, you know, I've bitten off more than I can chew, and hearing what you all are saying is giving me further reason I'm going ahead to get this store, but I really have to decide now what I'm doing. I guess I may need some kind of help. And this is why I'm actually, that's what prompted me to ask the question about Go High Level. Because if they are going to be having, what you call it, they're going to be
Shopify.
bringing e-commerce on board, and it's going to be a lot simpler. You know, I want to focus on driving traffic, not necessarily trying to figure out the nuts and bolts of the website. I want to stick to where I feel my strength lies, you know. You want to run the business.
There's so much wisdom that comes with what you just said. It's like you need, it's like this agency thing or this online, it's like we all need to recognize our like what we want to do, you know, like I don't want to do all the techie stuff. I want to teach you guys how to start agencies, how to monetize your purpose, how you can do so many things like drop shipping and, you know, be an agency, or you can choose a restaurant niche, or you can do blogging, or you can do anything. That's what I want to do. I don't have a problem getting leads. That's easy for me. I want to provide a solution, and I need to automate. I need to hire people. I need to automate things. That's what I want to focus on. When you are stuck on a platform trying to troubleshoot for 3 days, what happens? You're so frustrated. You're thinking about, is this the wrong track for me? I shouldn't even be doing this. I am not this techie person. I hate all this stuff. And then you're starting to question your life path because you're stuck, you know. This is why you pay more for tools. In reality, this is why because it's an investment.
Bridget, for a moment there, I was wondering if you were clairvoyant. You know, it's like you're reading minds here, because I spent maybe the whole of last week trying to figure out stuff. You know, every day I come home from work, I spend several hours, I'm going through, and then you know, sometimes you are more confused by the amount of avenues and directions to go into, and not knowing, if I go down this one, would this be the correct one? If I go this way, you know. So sometimes having a lot of information may not be as helpful as having just a little bit of information. But what is really required is the right information. So I'm happy for this call. I'm happy for some of the insights. Keck, I saw you posted something. I grab it.
Yeah. I'll just mention that I got a little bit of experience with e-commerce. Before I got into digital marketing, I was with the Amazon FBA program, and you know, so I looked into all of that stuff, and a lot of friends that do that. And Shopify is built for drop shipping. I mean, if that what you said you're trying to do, I thought, well, that's exactly what Shopify does. And what I sent you, a company called Oberlo. Oberlo is a company that integrates with Shopify. It's been a while, but it helps, I think, solve what you're saying, that order flow problem where, hey, I got 1,000 orders, and it bridges the gap between your supplier and your customer. So, but I would strongly look into something like that, because same thing we've all been saying, but we get the idea that building these digital assets is the game, but that's not the game. You need the digital asset, but the game is to monetize. So, and that's where like the Shopify is like the iPhone, you know, of e-commerce. It's easy to use. It's intuitive. It does what you want. It's built for this purpose. Go enjoy it. You know what I mean? So I would strongly, it's professional. I wouldn't, you know, you've already got what you've got built and stuff, but you could probably get something going on Shopify in a fraction of the time that already has all the integrations and the things you think you want to get done workflow wise. It's already there, because that's specifically what it's built for.
So, okay, one question about Shopify, because again, this is new to me. If I have a Shopify account, does that come with hosting, or do I need to get a separate server? How does that work?
Yeah, I don't think you need hosting for a Shopify store.
I think you can build a complete e-commerce store using only Shopify.
Yep.
I'm not an expert on Shopify, but I'm pretty sure that's how I don't think you would really need anything. If you want to be a drop shipper, you really don't need anything other than
Yeah, I'm
Shopify
sure
and
you could integrate a
overload.
custom domain if you
Yeah.
wanted to or something.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, you would need an extra landing page or a funnel or whatever, unless, that was part of your marketing scheme or something.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. All right, I'll look into Shopify. Because like I said, right now, I started. The other thing I'm finding the site isn't completed, but I just find it's loading too slow for my liking. I'm starting to have visions of what if when this is done and customers start to come on and it's taking forever to open a page, what is going to happen? I have those concerns because my thought trend was that since you have a dedicated server, then it should be like that, it should be running. But then again, the questions came up, maybe it's because it's a WordPress theme or WordPress store. Maybe that's why I'm seeing all of that kind of stuff. So good. Well, I have to go back to the drawing board and look at this again because I was pushing because I wanted to get this store up and running at the end of this month. So I really need to figure out where I'm going from here.
I have a feeling that you'll have the same kind of experience that I had when I went to HighLevel, where I felt like before I was driving like a 1982 Pinto, and then I hopped in a Mercedes Benz for the first time in my life. And I was like, what? I had no idea. I had no idea what was possible until I hopped in this Mercedes. So
I like
yeah,
what you
but
said
look,
earlier. What you said earlier too. One thing I love that they do is they beta test things before they release them. And that's the order it's supposed to happen. You beta test, then you release it. And boy, that makes all the difference.
Yeah. And when you promise to release things, you actually do release them. So that's important too. And so HighLevel, it's coming. If they say it's coming, it's coming.
Yeah,
so
they're
I'm
legit.
really,
They're very legit.
yeah, big time. Because their clientele demands it. I mean, that's just what it is. When you're, these people are running, $1 million agencies on HighLevel, and they demand that it be that professional.
Well, if you're on like their Facebook page and you see Sean come on every now and then with a Monday update or whatever, or you see him on a town hall or any kind of video, he's just like, boom, 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 boom. He's just all about the business. And, somebody brings something up and he'll thoroughly answer it. And, I mean, he knows what's up. He's not like a figurehead or something.
Yeah, I was talking to a freelancer that I hired to get some of my things set up. And I was saying, well, Sean said I needed to do this. And he's like, oh, Sean's a legend. And I was like, okay, that's good to know. Awesome. Maria, I saw your hand up. How can I help you, ma'am?
No, it's just a comment I'm going to say. As you know my limitations. If I could raise my arms up in the air, I would be screaming because you said it's easy for you to get leads. I can't get one to save my life.
Well,
I mean,
Maria,
I'm so bad at it.
It's all about, see, here's the thing. Edison and I both agree that we just want to get leads, but you might be a builder. Maria, you might just like to build stuff. Maybe getting leads is where you struggle, where we're saying, hey, we don't want to get stuck building, but maybe you're like, I love building. If somebody could just give me the leads. And then now because you have realized that about yourself, where you need to go next in your business. Do you need to team up with someone who's great at getting leads? Do you need to figure out a better lead system so that you can hire people to get leads for you or whatever? And then you can, so it's really, again, and it's just like we talked about, like starting a YouTube channel and things like that. Building an audience, that's how you're going to get a lot of leads, really. It takes time. Most people quit. My husband says, I feel sorry for people just getting started because if they have to go through what you've gone through, then it's like, I feel bad for them because this is why there's a teeny tiny percentage of people who actually make a living online because it's hard. It's really hard. But again, if you like to build, then just team up with someone who it's getting leads is easy. Right?
Yeah, well, I'm enjoying it. I'm building and trying to get leads and learning at the same time.
Yeah.
And an answer to, well, another comment to Edison is that I have I've been a drop shipper for eBay and on Amazon, FBA, all that. And all I can say is, Jesus, thank you to get me out of that. I did not like it. I don't know what Ket's experience was, but oh, I was going gray real fast with Amazon on my back.
Oh, Amazon FBA.
Uh,
Oh my
and
gosh.
drop ship Amazon. That
I
was,
call Amazon
my nerves were
FBA
so
my,
bad. I needed a shot every time I thought about Amazon. It was bad.
yeah, that was my $50,000 lesson, Amazon
Oh
FBA.
yeah. Yeah, and mine was a lot too, because I shipped some stuff from China, and that was a
Yeah.
headache and a half.
You know what
Yeah,
you just
I
said
would not
about that.
recommend. I would not recommend Amazon FBA. There are too many things on the back
And
end.
drop ship. I had drop ship on
Yeah.
Amazon.
You sometimes, I've heard a lot of horror stories about Amazon, and
Mhm.
listen, right now I work at Amazon, so I could tell you I would never recommend FBA, Amazon FBA. You send your goods there, and you know, it's if you send 100 items and they say they only receive 80, well, then what do? You know, you have no recourse, because whatever they say goes. Someone could steal the next 20, you know, and there are a lot of horror stories, but you know, Amazon is well insulated by money, so they don't care. They
Truth.
don't care. And they have the PR machine as well, that whoever wants to say anything negative, reputation for them, they are such a behemoth that reputation doesn't really matter too much. They could always kill that story.
Well, yeah, if you know, once you get to be, you know, a multi-billionaire,
Yeah.
you know, maybe your reputation doesn't mean that much. But definitely when you're a local business owner, when you're an online marketer, your reputation is everything. Everything. This is why I just tell you, my whole thing for you guys is to eliminate, like what Keck said, is spending $50,000 to learn a lesson. You know, I want to tell you, Edison, yes, you could build an e-commerce store on any website, any builder that you find, but just choose the best. You know, if you're not a techie person, just choose the best. Choose the one that's going to start making you money the fastest. And that's it. It can be HighLevel, it can be Shopify, it could be whatever you choose to use, but the whole thing is choose the one that's best for you and your skill level and your budget, and then whatever's going to help you start making money. We get stuck in this like online learning thing for like a long time, and we're like, oh yeah, I know I haven't seen my spouse in like 3 years, but hey, I'm building this business. And it's like, I'm not making any money. At a certain point, you start questioning your own sanity, your spouse starts questioning you, and you're like, I know. But so the best advice, honestly, figure out something you want to do, get it going, and start launching, because there's no way you're going to figure out what your actual problems are, what your actual path is going to be until you do it. You might realize you hate drop shipping. And at least now you figured that out in a month instead of 3 years, you know? So like Maria decided she hated it, Keck hated it, but Edison, you might be the best drop shipper that the world has ever seen. So it's about discovering in yourself what it is that you want to do, and then finding that way to monetize that. Hello, Beyond Virtual Events also.
Oh, that's sorry. I always forget to change my name to my actual name and not my company. Hi, Bridget.
Hi. Hi.
May I ask my question now?
Sure, go ahead. And then I promise I'll get Janai and Valerie. I'm sorry. I just
go
saw
ahead.
you pop on.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
My question has to do with emails. I had asked you in Telegram about where the website builder information was for HighLevel, but when I started thinking about it, I realized all of my emails, even though my domain names are not hosted on BA, all of my emails are, and they're all connected to my domain. So I wasn't quite sure what that does when I move the website over to HighLevel, what I'm supposed to do, how I'm supposed to also get all of the emails that I have over there that are connected to that domain.
So who do you want to host your emails?
I don't know yet. I don't know. I thought that I could use whatever is in HighLevel, just because everything is there.
Yeah.
And do they, I
So,
didn't know if they give us the same amount of liberty with having multiple emails for one domain.
who did you purchase your domain through?
I purchased this particular domain through NameSilo.
Okay. So I know with Bluehost, that's what I use. And so I purchased my domains through Bluehost, and the plan that I have allows me to create unlimited emails. So when you're creating your emails and you're creating and purchasing your domains and all of that, it's all going to stay within whatever it is that you've purchased it. So like, for example, mine stay in Bluehost. Now, if you want to use like Builderall for certain things, you can point the name servers and then it will go to Builderall, and then you can add, you know, the C name and an A record and things like that. You can do all those things. But like for me, I am not using Builderall. So I purchase my domain through Bluehost, and then I create all of my emails through Bluehost. And then I just connect it to HighLevel using the STMP settings.
Okay, I'll have to look into, so when I first started using NameSilo, the only thing they offered were actually just domains. So you had to do anything else elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen recently that they've started doing email stuff. I just haven't looked deep into it. So I may need to just look into that and see if I can move my emails back there.
Yeah, and you can always like you could purchase a professional domain email from anyone. So you could even go to like Google and purchase a professional email that way. And it really is just about you know, adding MX records. And so if you do find a good solution that you want to use your emails for, I would look for unlimited emails. That would be something that's important. And then what else was I going to say? And then, yeah, and then you could just connect them. I forgot what else I was going to tell you, but yeah, that's what you want to look for. You want to look for the unlimited emails, and then you can just change the records. And if it's too techy for you, then just contact the support of your registrar and be like, hey, I need, here's the records. Can you update this so that I can make sure that it's right?
Awesome. Thank you.
So you're talking about her using, say, her NameSilo through Mailgun. Is that right?
No, actually with HighLevel, I actually turned off the email rebilling. So now what you guys can do is you can use your own STMP information. So you don't have to go through Mailgun. You don't have to use my email, anything. It's all about, so like with Bluehost, for example, I can just go in there, I can add the STMP records, and then all of my emails that get sent are from Bluehost. So if you choose to use like Mailgun, so you'll see in your account, there's a Mailgun. Let me actually show you. Let me get access to a sub account and I'll show you real fast.
Because that's what I was wondering, would she then in this example go to NameSilo's email interface to take care of her emails, or do it somehow through HighLevel? Okay.
Yeah, if they have one. So so let me show you here. Because like I think GoDaddy, they have an email solution, but it is,
and it's expensive, and that's why I ran away from GoDaddy years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, I think with Bluehost, I pay like $160 a year. And then I can host like one WordPress website, and then I can create unlimited emails. And so that just works for me, but you know, you can choose anyone that you want. So if you have, this is going to be the default, right? And your sub account within Team Vision, or if you're an agency owner and you're using Mailgun and however you want to set it up. And if you're doing rebilling, it has to go through Mailgun. If you're not doing rebilling, which I've turned mine off, so you guys will not, all your credits and everything will not be used for emails. Those are free for you to send however you want to, and it's all maintained by your own, whoever does your emails. Okay, so that is a huge savings to you guys, because I know with Bluehost I can send 90,000 emails a day, and that doesn't cost me anything. So it's not going to cost you guys anything. And let's say that I am like the worst email maintaining person on the planet, and all of my emails go to spam. That doesn't affect you guys at all, right? Because your own email system is connected. So you can choose the default provider, and what that will do is it will send from the agency. So your emails will say at My Vision Agency, But if you want to add your own, you can click here for the SMTP provider. So you can use Gmail, Yahoo, SendGrid, or you can choose any other one, like I have Bluehost. And when you do that, you just need to give it a name so that you know what it is. You're going to add the SMTP server information here. You're going to add your port, your username, and then of course you want to, your email and password of your email. So once you get that connected here, and you can get that from whoever is hosting your email. So if it's Bluehost or if it's Microsoft or Google or wherever, you get that information, just tell them what you need. Like I'm going to click here, I'm going to contact Bluehost if I needed to. And I'm going to say, hey, I need the SMTP server. I need the port number and I need the username and whatever. Right. So that's all you really have to do. Once you get that connected, all of your emails go through whatever service you've chosen. That makes sense.
So, Bridget, just to clarify, so basically, once you do that, with respect to your emails, then Go HighLevel is basically like a catchment area for all the emails.
Okay. You'll still have your emails hosted wherever you have your emails.
Yeah, sure.
So
but
like I have Bluehost. Yeah. Yeah. So it's still you'll still have a copy within your emails. But what happens is when you have a contact who fills out a form and they're in your, they're in your CRM. Now, what you want to do is you want to respond and have all communications with that client within the HighLevel system, because that's how it's going to pull in, like, let's say Billy Bob, my client Billy Bob at billybob@gmail.com. He has sent me an email, right? So that's going to show up in my email system, but in my CRM, right? So when I'm communicating with Billy Bob, it's every piece of information is connected to that. So if he calls me and his phone number is in my CRM, it's all going to show up in that conversations thread. Then if he texts me or emails me or messages me on Google My Business or any of that, it's all in that thread. So while it's connected and you're still going to be able to see and deal with your emails wherever they're being housed, the ability to respond is going to be, and to receive is going to be, you want to do that through HighLevel.
Understood.
Okay. Denai, you are up next, my lady.
Hi, hello everybody.
Hello.
Okay, so I just got a real basic question. I kind of asked you the other day, but I'm not sure if you had gotten an answer back. As I'm backpedaling my way, because I don't know if you know yet, but you probably figured out I just jump into stuff and start pushing buttons and doing stuff. So I'm backpedaling my way back in the advice you gave about, just do what's best for you and trying to figure out what am I doing. I decided to just go ahead and niche down to the restaurant agency instead of trying to help the world, which is really on my heart. But my question is, like, with the agency that I had started to set up, I just want to keep the Team Vision account, and I kind of transferred everything back over, there to the best of my ability. So is there anything else I need to do to relinquish that agency? I think it ends tomorrow. My trial is up tomorrow, I believe.
I don't think so. I mean, if you want to, like, of your agency sub account, if you want to create a snapshot and then you want to open up your Team Vision sub account and then upload that snapshot, you could do that. But really, that would be the only thing I can think of. And within your Team Vision account, you can still, if you want to, you can create a professional email for them using the STMP settings, and you can do that unlimited within your account. You can also create and host, funnels and websites and all of those things. So you definitely don't have to have a HighLevel account. And that's why I say you have to do what's best for you. So if you're like, I'm not quite ready for that, it doesn't mean you can't get started, right? So just definitely utilize all those, all the tools and the things that you can do and start building up those clients. But you can do hosting the email or the funnels and all of that stuff you can do inside your account. But I will say, when you start sending emails and texts and all that, and you're trying to do all of those things for a client, it's going to kind of get crazy trying to keep track of all those things. For example, if you connect your Facebook page on the launch page, like the launch, the launch pad where you connect all of your information, you can only do that for one account. So in your conversations tab, if you're trying to, add clients and all of that, you're going to have the people who are contacting you. You're going to have emails from another company. It's going to kind of get crazy when it comes to organizing. But if you're just trying to get clients for web design and funnels and things, you can do all of that inside your sub account for now.
Yeah, I was trying to figure, I think I got connections going haywire every which way. But I was just trying to like narrow everything, like after I made that decision, I just had this piece and everything just kind of made sense. And I was just able to like, connect it to, even deleting some of the pages I had on the website just to narrow it down to the restaurant. It's like, okay, I can do this. But going back, because I really do want the agency, it's just not in my positioning right now. But I'm thinking it shouldn't be that hard to just reboot it in a couple months or so, when I finally do get a client or two. I plan to immediately go back to the agency.
Yeah.
I just don't want to stress myself out around the holidays. That's all.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
yeah, it's like, that's what I'm always preaching. Only you know what your situation is. So when you said, I just got peace when I made that decision, really, honestly, that's what I look for. Every decision I make, I'm just like, okay, if I feel like I have peace about that, I know that is the right decision.
Right.
So yeah. And then when you're ready, we'll create a snapshot and then of your account at its current state when you're ready to create your own HighLevel account, and then you'll be able to take all that stuff with you.
Okay, great. Thank you. Thank you. So I don't even remember. I don't even think was there a credit card connected to the?
Yes, your trial. So definitely let them know, cancel officially before you get charged.
Okay. Okay, great. Thank you.
Valerie, you are next, ma'am.
Okay, I'm a total airhead.
Not true.
No, I've been thinking, since you brought this HighLevel on, which I think is great. I'm so excited for you. I've been thinking, well, I need to get more into the agency world. But now a light bulb went off that I could do my one product store there in your sub account.
Yeah.
And I get my full domain name.
Yeah.
I set that up.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do all of those things. If you like, and really it's a great way to start. It's like you have your own product, you create your own system, you work to build your own brand. And then when you build your brand and you're confident about the path that you're going, if it is agency, then you definitely create your own HighLevel account and go down that path. But you may decide like, hey, I really just want to create a course about XYZ, and maybe that's the product you want to launch. And then you're just now a course creator and a coach, and maybe you never create a HighLevel account. You just use the tools for your business.
Well, I was thinking maybe that's good. I mean, if I get this all to be successful, it would be nice to set up an agency to help people do one product stores.
Yeah.
That means.
Yeah, I agree. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, we're ahead here.
No, you're not. It's just, again, it's just you, Valerie, and whatever it is that you want. And you may start now and you decide next year you want something totally different. But again, it's about you and it's about taking action. And the beautiful thing is, Valerie, if you learn to build your own website and build your own course and all of that stuff, we definitely, as the agency grows, look at all these people who are going to need those services. You know, Edison, he doesn't want to get bogged down in fulfillment. Neither do I, because we want to get leads. So if you're someone who's like, hey, I have just been building on this builder for the past year, my websites are beautiful, or I create courses. And I mean, that's the thing. There's really limitless potential just by knowing the HighLevel tools. And when you look in the community, oh my gosh, there's so many people creating so many things for HighLevel, and they just got a $60 million investment. So it's only going to get bigger and better from here.
Plus, you know, I've been following on the Facebook. People are always asking, I need somebody to build this for me. I need somebody to build that. I mean, a lot of action there on those communities.
Yeah.
Doing the building part, the getting the client part, I don't care for. I mean, I have a few handful, but it's just friends basically, you know. But,
And that's okay. You know, it's actually great, because for the people who don't want to do the building, or, you know, they're just already getting leads, and they're like, you know, like I love building websites and all that stuff, but I'm only one person. So I can't, you know, if what I'm good at is getting leads and, you know, the sales and doing the contracts and securing the client, then it's like, that's where I need to be. And if I'm building and all this and I'm getting bogged down by, oh my gosh, I need, you know, it's going to take me 3 days to build this website. And it's like, that's 3 days I could have gotten more clients to actually scale my business. So yeah, I mean, it's really, really needed. Valerie, you might just decide you never want to be an agency. You just want to provide your services. That's great.
yeah, it's hard to do it all. That's for sure.
Yeah, great.
Okay, thank you, Bridget. You have a super weekend.
You're welcome. You too. All right. Anybody else have questions? Okay. Well, I will definitely, that was almost 2 hours. You guys had a lot of good questions today. But thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have an awesome weekend. And next week, we're going to actually create a lead magnet funnel. I'm going to actually rebuild the Google My Business funnel. So no matter what PLR product you choose to use, it's going to be the same process. But we're going to go from beginning to end. So we're going to build the lead magnet funnel. We're going to create an email sequence and a workflow and all that cool stuff. So you can really see it, because we've kind of talked about the basics of HighLevel. But when you actually see what building a whole campaign looks like, you guys are going to be blown away, because it's actually so easy and there's so many things that you can do. So it's actually really exciting. So again, thank you so much for joining me. Have an excellent weekend. I'll see you all Monday, same time, same place. Go make your vision a reality.